Welcome back. It is a creative space that is on the west side. So we sent Nicole out live to Elyria at a place that encourages you to find your inner artist. Nicole, good morning, first of all. What a great place to just get creative.
You know what? It is definitely a great place to get creative, and it's also a really cool place to explore a lot of local artists, because we are here in Elyria on Broad Street at the Elyria Arts Council. And joining me this morning is Jillian. Jillian, it's so good to be here and to be in this beautiful space this morning.
Yeah, thanks for coming out to visit us.
So this is essentially a gallery. How many different artists are featured?
We have about 40 artists total. Not all of them are on display now. Some only display once in a while.
And I'm noticing that there are all types of mediums that are incorporated. Can you talk a little bit about some of the mediums that are on display here today?
Absolutely. We have pottery on sale and on display. Lots of paintings, different styles of paintings, from acrylic to watercolors, and we have glass artists and authors. Also, we have cards for sale, so local people that make cards.
So you mentioned the local component, and as I was taking a look around, I noticed a lot of the groupings are kind of by artists. So are these all artists that are local to Lorain County?
Yes, Elyria, close to Elyria, generally Lorain County.
Now, for people that aren't familiar with the Elyria Arts Council, obviously you have this beautiful gallery. You joined the board last year?
Last summer.
And then you decided to take on the extra responsibilities of being a chairperson.
Yes.
Why was it so important for you to get even more involved than you were previously?
Yeah, that's a great question too. I have a background in nonprofits and working in art galleries, and my career took me into the corporate world, and so I don't get that community connection as much anymore. And when I took a class here, I fell in love with it and just got more involved over time.
And I know the class component is really important, and that's something that we're going to dive a little bit deeper into in the next hour. But you talk about that community component, you talk about teaching and educating. You know, for people that are watching right now, why is it so important to support the arts, especially from a local standpoint?
Our mission and vision is where art thrives, communities thrive. And so when people come and connect, it gives them a chance to, one, get some personal fulfillment, but maybe if they connect with our organization, then they'll continue to connect throughout the community.
You know, and there is something to be said. We're taking a look at so much beautiful artwork right now on the walls and on display, and you mentioned the different mediums that are used. It's really wonderful to be able to support the local artists also, because they're the ones that are making a living doing this. With some of the pieces that we're seeing right now, how often is the artwork rotated or replaced, or how quickly does it usually turn over?
It depends. I think that most artists refresh a few times a year, and then when one piece sells, they might bring in a new one single piece. Sometimes they'll swap out their whole display.
Right. And I know with you being a nonprofit, you have been very transparent about the fact that funding has been a little bit tighter this year.
Yes.
As a result, you've kind of had to pivot and be a little bit more creative in the ways that you're able to bring those monetary resources in. What are some ways that people can get involved? I know you have the classes.
We have the classes. We also have, we are very thankful for our community sponsors, different organizations throughout the community. We're grant funded, different families or individuals that give us funding. We have our ongoing fundraiser is EAC 100, and for a gift of $100 or more, you support our ongoing projects, and it helps us grow our programs, grow our reach in the community, so we can just share the joy of art.
You know, it's located here on Broad Street. This is an area that is kind of undergoing a revival of sorts, with all different types of restaurants and boutiques, and obviously the Elyria Arts Council is one of the important figures here on the street. So coming up in the next hour, we talked about ways you can support this wonderful nonprofit, but I think I'm going to get creative. I'm going to let my creative juices flow. Is that all right?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you make.
Me too. So stick around, because we have more coming up on New Day Cleveland. We'll be right back.